I'm certain that I've already recommended Practical CSM to a ton of my peers and colleagues.
I feel proud that, I have my CCSMP now.
Being able to kind of have all of that information accessible right there for you is great to see.
It was very good use of my time.
When I came on board at IntelliShift and I was building out our customer success organization, I knew that I needed to make sure that training and enablement was a core part of how we brought new folks into the organization. We were at a point where we were growing tremendously and very fast. And as the only leader in the group, I was going to need some help. Now, I'm big on continuity and making sure that everyone is with their own flavor, saying at least the same things that we've all aligned on as a business. And so in a way to help really facilitate that training enablement, I decided to partner with Practical CSM to help us go through that certification together. This way we knew that we had the same skills, the same training, and would likely be deploying the same type of program. There are so many wonderful customer success certification programs on the market today. And I've even had the privilege and pleasure of going through a few of those on my own. What I will say is that, when I was determining what was appropriate for my team here at IntelliShift, there was a few things I took into account. One, I knew that as we were navigating this global pandemic, it was going to be all virtual and remote. So I was looking for a certification program where at their core, they were going to have a very strong online program. I didn't want this to be something that was kind of secondary to maybe, their in-person training. I also needed to make sure that it covered all the bases for customer success and not just scratching the surface, but went really deep. And the third component is I needed to trust that the information that they'd be taking away would really be applicable to the program that I was developing here. And so when I was thinking through all of those things, as well as taking into account usability and price, Practical CSM was an easy answer. There's a very easy interface where you're managing each of your employees via their email address. And as an admin, I had the ability to see how far along they were in their program, how they were doing with each of their certifications, and where they were getting stuck. So as I was helping guide them through this, their admin area made this really super easy and allowed me to report on the progress we were all making as a team. So again, being remote during this global pandemic, it was really important that we knew that we would have the support needed in order to orchestrate this really effectively with the team. So I will say we relied very heavily on the customer success team at Practical CSM to make sure that everyone was set up very easily, understood how to use the interface, understood how to advance in the program and certification. And of course, if we got stuck anywhere, that we had someone to help guide us through that. The quality of the training with Practical CSM was really thorough. The online videos made it super easy for you to follow at whatever pace you needed. You had the ability to slow things down or speed things up as necessary. There was also a wealth of templates and other additional information to help partner along with these self-guided videos. So whether there was documents that you could download and export, or if you were reading along with the book, it really helped to give you those additional assets needed to make sure that you were taking away everything you needed throughout the entire training. So the big takeaway from the training with Practical CSM was the customer success framework that it provided. As we were building our program, we really wanted to be methodical on how we were guiding our customers through the journey. And the Practical CSM framework really aligned beautifully with that. It stayed true to our philosophy on customer success and really helped us hone in on the areas that were really important. All of the tools and additional information really made sure that we were doing our due diligence in supporting our customers appropriately. So it was really easy to take that and apply it in our day-to-day. The team's feedback was really great. We definitely got some feedback that it was very academic for folks that probably haven't been to school in a very long time. Going back to school is kind of what this felt like, but really the learnings were super valuable. Even folks that are very tenured in their customer success career felt like they were taking away a wealth of knowledge. And even if it was a couple nuggets and things that they hadn't thought about or areas to refocus, it really made sure that it was applicable and valuable to folks at all levels. The real big takeaway for our team and what we found super helpful was the ability to make this self-guided. Now, in any organization, right, there's a ton of priorities. And so while I was giving my team very clear timelines in terms of what we would accomplish and by when, they definitely had the ability to go in and advance the program as they saw fit and as it fit into their schedule. So that was really fantastic. Now, being able to bookmark and pick up where you left off made it really easy to start and stop and then pick back up. So the entire user interface, just again, very seamless, super easy, really friendly to use, and made it really easy for us to deploy.
Well, to be honest, I'm a little bit of a nerd. So anytime that I have the opportunity to do some more training or learning or anything, I'm always excited to get involved in that. I'm really trying to kind of expand everything. You know, there's always opportunities to pick up more information, even if you think you know everything. That's most likely not going to be the case. The entire login process was very straightforward, just pretty much similar to how you would create an account in most other websites. Logging in, I thought it was extremely simple to kind of navigate through. Everything's really presented to you straightforward at the very top of the screen with the dashboard and the certificates and even the Successopedia as well. Being able to kind of have all of that information accessible right there for you is great to see. I found the training material to be actually quite relevant, a lot of different information. I think one of the areas I liked the most was the different badges and the different stages that we had. Obviously, early on, there might have been stuff that was a bit more familiar to me, but as we move forward, there was a lot of information presented that maybe I hadn't necessarily considered, or areas that being able to focus on a bit more proved very valuable.
So I am just now getting ready for a customer that was assigned to me, in the last week or two, to go through the steps to identify, what users are impacted by the product. And so we're going to be going through that next week and following the steps that were outlined in the training course. Very useful. There were things that as I was going through the course, it's like, yeah, that's something that I do, but maybe not consistently. And it really brought together, being organized and bringing process to what I do. So a lot of this is stuff I've done, and but it really brought it together more step by step, how you should follow it, and to make sure that you're covering everything that needs to be covered as you go through the process. It was very easy to do. The time went by quick. I did most of it in the evenings and weekends, and the time, watching the videos, reading the material. It was an easy read, and it was very good use of my time.
One, I like that it started, it didn't assume that you knew everything, but it also didn't, bring it down to the basics. But if you needed some, reminders about what some of the basics were, you had that activity, the audiobooks and the workbooks to go back to, and also having the tools, the Excel spreadsheets, understanding, how you want to map your customers and map your participants to what their role is, I think that's really helpful in getting you set. Even if you maybe don't adopt it formally, it helps you get into a mindset of where you are with each one of your customers. I found them challenging. It was daunting, but it really tested you. As I said, it isn't just walking away with this certificate that you click true or false through a series of questions. There was actual interpretation and thought, and it wasn't this is clear. You really had to rely on every part of the modules that you had gone through. So as I said, I feel proud that, I have my CCSMP now, and it means something. It wasn't just an easy certificate or, acknowledgement to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I think still there's obviously things that I continue to use and I have been using throughout the entire process. As I pick things up throughout the courses, I started trying to implement them with my customers and saw a lot of success there, and would absolutely recommend this for anyone else in the CS field who hasn't necessarily seen it before, but definitely saw a lot of benefits to it and feel as much stronger as a CSM on the whole.
I would definitely recommend it to others, especially people that are early in their career in customer success. I think there's a lot of valuable information. You get the benefit of the experience of others that have been doing this for a while. And even those, like myself, who have been doing this for a while, you gain kind of the perspective, yeah, these are things I do, but this also helps me be more organized and process oriented as I go through it. So I would recommend it to anyone, whether early in your career or if you've been doing this for a while.
I absolutely would. As I said before, I don't think we spend enough time investing and taking time for professional development. And it isn't going to be something that is going to be able to be done during your workday, so you are going to have to put that time and effort in. But I think that it's, I believe customer success is one of the most transferable positions and roles that, you can go from, different industries and different backgrounds and take what you've learned and apply it. And I think that just makes you more marketable. I think that it makes you more valuable to the company that you're working with. And, you're also investing in the company that you're working for. You want to be better. I know that I'm a better customer success director for my customers at Intellishift because of going through Practical CSM.
I'm certain that I've already recommended Practical CSM to a ton of my peers and colleagues, and I absolutely would continue to do so. The program, not only was it robust and easy to use, again, if you're looking to standardize and really fill that gap with training enablement, this is a great way to do that. You don't need to go and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into resources, tools, technology, and people when you've got really an industry best practice framework at your disposal.